Republican did what she did, that Republican would be impeached and removed from office, and rightfully so, for high crimes and misdemeanors, for the most part. But Philadelphia is out of control. Detroit is out of control. Atlanta is out of control. Places are out of control.
Picture this. It's 2024, and school kids in Ohio are speaking Klingon. Sounds crazy, right? Well, not to Trump. Join us as we dive into the ex-president's latest rally, where reality takes a back seat and conspiracy theories ride shotgun. Stephen Colbert's got the map, and trust me, you don't want to miss this wild ride. Now let us take a peek into Trump's mind during his latest tirade over the state of the economy, an arrogant declaration of having the greatest economy.
We had the greatest economy in the history of our country 4 years ago, 7 years ago.
Quickly turns into a nightmare involving roaring ravens and sleepless nights. Is this the mind of a steady genius or of a man who ought to give up his late night drinking? Trump held his most recent rally with the intention of showcasing his economic power. Instead, it turned into a thrilling voyage.
Turn onto that broken road, held one of his broken rallies in North Carolina. Trump tried to brag about the economy during his administration.
Into the winding alleys of his mind, he takes 1 minute to boast, "We're the greatest economy in the history of our country," then strays off subject to discuss flies and his beauty sleep. It's like trying to do math while observing a squirrel sip Red Bull.
Oh, there's a fly. Oh, I wonder where the fly came from. See, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have had a fly up here.
Still, there's more. Just before you think that Trump is about to talk about trade or jobs, he says this wonderful thing: "If there was no cheating, I wouldn't have to campaign, since it's evident that the only reason someone would seek for government is to be fooled."
Didn't cheat, I wouldn't even be here today. You know why? I wouldn't have to campaign. I'm here only because they cheat. And they cheat in this state.
Right? It's not like voting is a standard democratic function or something. Our trustworthy guide through this crazy maze, Colbert, never misses a beat. He notes that Trump's attempts to project an image of himself as an economic wizard are about as successful as filing taxes with a crayon. It's hard to take someone seriously as a financial guru when they can't even combine two reasonable ideas on the economy without mentioning the birds outside their window. Speaking of birds, Trump's comments at the rally took a strange turn when he started mentioning the ravens outside his window. Because, let's be honest, complaining about obtrusive birds doesn't exactly convey, "I understand complex economic policy." It's almost as if he's attempting to conceal the fact that he has no real plan or understanding of how the economy works. Colbert, in all his wisdom, refers to this whole thing as a magical mystery tour inside Trump's skull. Honestly, no one asked for or wanted this trip. It's like being forced to watch a slideshow of someone else's vacation, except if it was to Crazy Town and every picture features up-close views of Trump's hair. The most startling aspect is Trump's ability to contradict himself in a single sentence. He'll start out by bragging that he's created the greatest economy ever, then veer off course and declare that he is the only one who can save the world from complete disaster. It's like watching a magician sever his own arm in half. However, instead of celebrating, we're left with a headache and a deep sense of confusion. If you thought Trump's tirades against the economy were ridiculous, wait till you hear what he had to say about Kamala Harris. What could possibly go wrong when a man who can't distinguish between a person, woman, man, camera, and TV tries to cast doubt on the vice president's mental capacity while he's in office? People, settle in, for the subject of Trump's latest verbal abuse is our vice president. His remarks are about as understandable as a child who is too drunk to learn the Constitution. At his most recent rally, the Orange Monster decided to play armchair psychologist, labeling Harris as mentally impaired and stupid. After all, there's no greater way to project the image of a stable genius.
Mentally impaired Kamala was born that way. She was born that way.
Than to mock affluent politicians and lawyers on the playground. But this is when things get juicy. As our trustworthy late-night guide through the Trump Twilight Zone, Colbert draws attention to the blatant irony in Trump's comments. He poses the question that's on everyone's mind. If she were so, quote, mentally impaired, why did she destroy him in a debate for 90 minutes? Whoa, it's like when you watch a chess player lose a game and then call the other player a bad player. Trump does not settle for sticking one foot in his mouth. Instead, he decides to indulge in the full shoe buffet. He suggests that if a Republican had behaved in the same manner as Harris, they would be impeached for major offenses and misdemeanors, whatever that means.
Republican did what she did, that Republican would be impeached and removed from office, and rightfully so, for high crimes and misdemeanors.
For in Trump's world, it appears that being a Democrat is now forbidden. Who knew? Surprisingly, Trump's obsession with Harris might be advantageous to her. While he's preoccupied with his outbursts, Harris is attracting greater attention in battleground states. He seems to be her own crazy hype guy, though. Trump's attempts to undermine Harris are backfiring spectacularly, exhibiting a dearth of political acumen comparable to a bull in a china shop. The cherry on top of this insane sundae should not be disregarded. Colbert notes that Trump did, in fact, provide funding to Harris's campaign in 2014. That's right, folks. The woman he is now accusing of being mentally impaired appears to have been sane enough to take his money. Trump's opinions tend to change faster than the hue of his spray tan. In contrast to his previous tirades at rallies, Trump's latest one comes across as utterly professional. Remember when elections were just about counting votes? Trump is creating a conspiracy theory so ludicrous that it surpasses the extent of Area 51. In his outburst over the weekend, Trump asserted that election fraud was out of control in several places. Philadelphia, Detroit, and Atlanta appeared to have drawn Trump's ire.
For the most part, but Philadelphia's out of control. Detroit is out of control. Atlanta is out of control. Places are out of control.
It appears that he is using important American cities as cards in an election fraud game. However, folks, hang on to those MAGA hats. In his justification for re-entering the race, Trump may have unintentionally disclosed the most genuine rationale he has ever given for doing so. If there was no cheating, asserts the Orange Marvel, I wouldn't have to campaign. And that's it, my friend. Trump's entire 2024 campaign has been nothing more than a tantrum due to his inability to accept failure. Colbert, our trustworthy late-night truth teller, made sure we didn't miss this treasure. He called attention to Trump's claims' glaring absurdity. Given the extent of dishonesty in the campaign, how can Trump defend his claims that he could win without using any tactic? It would be the same as saying you're the world's greatest athlete but still needs a hand in every race.
I find it very hard to sleep. I get so many ideas. I'm thinking all the time.
I don't sleep. I'm always, it's true, I'm always thinking at night. On thoughts like,
Trump conspiracy theories are getting wilder than his hair in a wind tunnel. He's threatening to file charges against all those involved in purported election fraud if he wins. Nothing, after all, says healthy democracy, quite like threatening to put your political opponents in jail. This is where Colbert's comic talent truly shines. He laughs as he dispels these rumors as quickly than Trump can utter "Cough-faith." Colbert exposes the absurdity of Trump's remarks, enabling his audience to see through the mist of lies and partial truths. It's not simply a nice laugh, though. Colbert's political humor serves a valuable purpose. It works like a spoonful of sugar to help the truth medicine dissolve. By fusing unpleasant facts with amusing scenarios, he makes it easier for people to comprehend the reality of Trump's dangerous remarks. Trump's rallies are beginning to look like an odd hybrid of stand-up comedy and dystopian fiction. He's combining personal grudges, economic jargon, and conspiracy theories into a nonsensical concoction. Still, there are many who drink it as if it were the elixir of truth.